near the river. They asked them to move to higher ground. And although the river looks less threatening this morning, even just a little bit of rain could create big problems for the small town.
Also this morning, bridges are collapsed, homes are buried, and towns are abandoned after Tropical Storm Manuel and Hurricane Ingrid drenched opposite sides of Mexico. Officials say combined, the storm systems have taken at least 21 lives in southwestern Mexico. Manuel's heavy rains caused rivers to breach their banks, which led to several severe flooding, that is, killing 16 people on the eastern coast of the country. Meanwhile, Hurricane Ingrid continues to swirl offshore. However, it is including heavy rains that have caused flooding and mudslides, killing several more people. Ingrid expected to reach the mainland sometime today. So everybody's
Wild
sharing in
weather.
the misery.
Yeah.
There really is a lot of severe weather out there right now, all the way from Colorado down towards the south.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, if you look to the south, we are going to see a lot of moisture coming in from Mexico. Unfortunately, it's not going to make it into our region. Of course, some areas, as we just saw, do not need any more rainfall. So that's basically what's going to be happening for today. A couple of systems, tropical systems in Mexico. Right now, temperatures are still waiting. We're waiting for the 60s and 70s to pop up consistently. That's going to be coming this week. But right now, 90 for downtown Phoenix, 84. And also more problems in Colorado. Those are the flood advisories throughout Denver and Boulder with flash flood watches. And we have also severe storm advisories posted for today.
Well, Jimmy Q, as we told you, the top story that we are following this morning is the relentless rain that's just hammering parts of Colorado, crippling widespread recovery efforts. And this morning, more than 1,000 people unaccounted for and several are dead. Thousands of people are displaced, with many of them having only destroyed homes to go back to. But our Chris Rapsky, he's actually in Colorado. He's covering this absolute disaster.
The water is coming from the sky, from the river.
You coming with me, buddy?
And for Erin Briggs and her family, they're not going to stick around to watch it.
I've got to get everything unplugged. I got to turn off the water. I have to turn off the propane and just get everything out that we might need for the next good week at least.
Briggs lives just 50 yards from the swelling South Platte, an ideal landscape any time, but now.
I think it's going to come over. I don't know that we're going to get any water in the house, but I do believe it'll come over. Did you already take out your pillows and stuff, Ryan?
The family has hoisted everything off the ground.
The cedar chest, we just put it up off of the floor.
Toys, clothes, furniture. But being so close to the river, they aren't sure what's going to make it.
I need my dog's kennel, but I don't know where I'm going to put it. I may have to come back.
15 miles east in Sterling.
Is the forecast going to be better or worse than what we thought?
Emergency officials brief their crews on the impending flood.
We know the water is west of us, and within 24 hours we are going to be at its peak here in the Sterling-Logan County area.
The message? Heed the warning.
We only have so many emergency people that can respond, but if you've received a warning to evacuate, then that's your fair warning.
The towns of Moreno and Atwood have evacuation orders right now in Logan County. More could be on the way as the water inches closer this way. All residents can really do right now is move quickly, get out, and then wait. In Logan County, Colorado, I'm Chris Sarabsky, 12 News.
Oh, Chris, good to see that he's okay.
Yeah.
And it's scary for these residents because, the only option is for them to leave everything. And this morning, with rain appearing to subside, a major air rescue is planned. Officials say at least 1,000 residents, like we said, are still waiting to be rescued from the floodwaters. The problem is they don't have power. They have no way of contacting people. It's just a mess.
They don't know how many are left and still in there. Meanwhile, in Albuquerque, also getting pounded with torrential rain and major flooding, the National Weather Service issued a flash flood watch for much of the central and northern part of the state. That rain comes as the state begins to clean up following a week of record rain. Parts of Albuquerque have received more than 4 inches of rain. Weather Service officials say this marks the wettest September on record for the city. New Mexico's governor has issued a state of emergency.
This is a horrendous story. A Scottsdale woman is accused of killing her 2 children. Police in California say Marilyn Edge has been released from a hospital, was booked into jail on 2 counts of murder. Her last known address was right here in the valley in Scottsdale. They say her children were found dead in a hotel room after she crashed her car miles away and alerted authorities to their bodies. Authorities say she appeared to be attempting suicide when she crashed, speeding through a parking lot and then slamming into an electrical box with propane tanks in her passenger seat.
She was then attempting to choke herself with something around her neck. There is no evidence of them being shot or stabbed. There's no evidence of a traumatic scene.
So it's still unknown how Edge's 10-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter were both killed. Police say there was no evidence of them being shot or stabbed, like you just heard there, and that nothing that really points to what exactly happened. So the investigation continues.
Sad story all the way around. This morning, officials are investigating a real bizarre fatal crash late yesterday that left a pedestrian dead. This is how it happened. A man had just crossed the street near 15th Avenue in McDowell when seconds later, two cars smashed into each other, spun out of control, and hit a light pole that went flying towards the victim. According to police, the 25-year-old was hit by the pole and died at the scene. Two people inside the car suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Happening today, President Obama marks the 5-year anniversary of the financial crisis. Mr. Obama is scheduled to talk about the economy in a speech at the White House Rose Garden today. He's expected to reference the 5th anniversary of the collapse of the mammoth investment bank Lehman Brothers and to outline his administration's response to this crisis, while pushing Congress to do more to help the middle class.
Today, the UN is set to present a report about last month's chemical weapons attack in Syria. The report just expected to say whether chemical weapons were used in the attack. It's not expected to say who used them. The report comes after Russia and the U.S. reached an agreement on how Syria will get rid of stockpiles of chemical weapons. Syria will have 1 week to declare its stash, which will then be removed or destroyed by mid-2014.
After spending about 2 years just laying there off the coast of an Italian island, the cruise ship Costa Concordia will finally be moved once crews attempt to rotate the wrecked ship overnight. Okay, so here's the deal. Bright spotlights, they illuminated the wreckage and the surrounding structures as workers carried out their final preparations. It could be the most challenging salvage operation in maritime history. And after extensive repairs, authorities are optimistic everything will go as planned. Next week, the trial begins for the captain accused of causing this entire wreck, abandoning ship and its passengers, and manslaughter.
That really is amazing undertaking. Meanwhile, today we are still on verdict watch in the trial of the former Phoenix police officer by the name of Richard Chrisman. The jury has Chrisman's case. He's facing second-degree murder charge in the 2010 death of Daniel Rodriguez and his dog. Friday was the third full day of deliberations.
Miss New York, you're up. Miss New York, yeah, get up. Yes, Miss New York, Nina DeVolry.
Sure.
She nearly missed her cue at last night's Miss America pageant. She ended up being the first Indian American to take home the crown and is also the second year in a row the title has gone to Miss New York. The 24-year-old winner is an aspiring physician from Syracuse. For her talent, she performed a Bollywood dance and answered a question about plastic surgery.
You know what's sad about this? We're hearing that there are people on Twitter that are just idiots on Twitter making mention of her heritage and why would this person be
Indian American
win so close to 9/11 and the whole it's just awful. The idiots that are out there are through the roof. So
well, the internet basically gives those people a wonderful place to meet up and just bash anything and everything that bothers them.
Get out of your mom's basement.
Yes. Today is Monday, September 16th. Happy birthday, Jamie. The 259th day of 2013, and that means there are
only 106.
That's it.
We're coming down. Christmas right around the corner. On this day, back in 1993, this is Arizona Senator Dennis DeConcini. He announced, DeConcini. All right, there he is. There's the senator, DeConcini. And I even wrote it phonetically. Announced he would not seek a fourth term as senator because he was sick of all the BS involved with fundraising. He was succeeded by John, is it Kyle?
John Kyle,
All right, there you go.
And on this day in 1993, NBC debuted Frasier, which was on all the time at my house. It's a spin-off of the long-running mega-hit sitcom Cheers. Frasier went on to air for 11 seasons and win multiple Emmy Awards. The sitcom's last show aired on May 13th, 2004.
One of my all-time favorite shows.
Oh, you and my dad both.
Back in 1908, General Motors was founded in Flint, Michigan by William C. Durant. Durant was a high school dropout and made his fortune by building horse-drawn carriages. In fact, he hated cars, and he thought they were noisy, smelly, and dangerous. However, the giant company that he built would dominate the American auto industry for decades.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't that something?
They are still a little noisy, kind of smelly.
And dangerous.
And they are very dangerous. Put down your phones. All right, ahead on 12 News Today. In the market for a used car, Edmunds.com ranks their top picks.
And at Lambeau Field, saw an influx of people outside of the stadium over the weekend. Why they were there and why they were against a particular team, I'm guessing you can tell by the signs. Jimmy Q, here we are on a Monday, my friend.
Yeah, Monday morning forecast, bright, a little bit on the warm side. Things are starting to turn. We're going to check that 7-day forecast to let you know what the rest of the trend is for your forecast for the rest of this week.
It's going to be warm today. All right, let's check out your morning commute, everyone. Right now, we're going to take a look how things are shaping up. This is the 101 right near Bethany Home Road. Good conditions that are out here. We'll be right back. You're watching 12 News Today, connecting Arizona.
Something touched me deep.
Want to get a bigger bang for your buck when it comes to used cars? Well, Edmunds.com is out with its annual list of the best used cars. It rates the best compact sedan as 2006 through 2011 Hyundai Elantra. For midsize, look for a 2007 through 2011 Ford Fusion. And if you want a used large sedan, pick a 2006 through 2011 Toyota Avalon.
And if that got you thinking about hitting the road, TripAdvisor has a prediction about next summer's getaways. Their Trip Barometer, Jimmy, shows most Americans will stay closer to home next year, seeing local sites rather than flying to destinations. However, travelers will most likely be spending the same amount of money or less than they did this year. They also predict that nearly half plan on funding all or at least part of their 2014 vacations with credit cards.
Well, this may seem like a no-brainer, but before you hit the road, you may want to make sure your kids are safely buckled in. When I say may, yeah, you want to make sure they're buckled in. A new report from Safe Kids Worldwide finds 1 in 4 parents have driven without their children buckled up in the car or in the booster seats. Now, parents who are younger with higher incomes and higher levels of education were most likely to allow their kids to remain unbuckled during drives. Parents who did this say they were lax on seat belts when they weren't driving far, when they were in a rush or traveling during the night, or when they were rewarding a child.
Really?
Reward them by not buckling them in. Safety experts say accidents happen in a split second and that kids should be buckled up appropriately whenever the car is in motion. Okay, if you want to forget about yourself, that's fine, but your kids?
And it's usually the shorter rides in which kids get into these accidents or when people are most likely to get in an accident.
Careless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
No.
You strapped in this morning?
Absolutely.
You ready to roll?
Yeah, you know what? Things are starting to cool down slowly.
It's 106 today.
No, later on this week.
Later on this
7-day
week?
forecast.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Good point.
Look ahead.
So 2 points here.
2 points. Thank you.
Both well taken.
Thank you.
Both
Thank you.
correct.
Thank you.
I'm telling you. Okay, let's see what's happening across the rest of the nation. South in Mexico, a lot of tropical moisture, and it looks like it will stay towards the south of us. But if you're going to be heading up in towards Arizona, no major travel delays coming out of Sky Harbor. Showers and storms still in New Mexico, flooding in parts of Albuquerque. So call ahead if you're going to be flying through Albuquerque. There could be some travel delays, but right now, no major reports. Upper Midwest, couple of light showers and maybe a little bit of rain activity from Boston to New York will make it feel a little bit more like fall. Summer coming to an end in many, many areas across the country. Now, our forecast, the monsoon meter, a 1 for the valley, way down on those numbers, 2 for northern Arizona. So Flagstaff, not a great shot at rain. The White Mountains a little bit better, but you have to go further east. Greer will have a better shot at rain than, say, Show Low, where you'll have about a 30% chance there. 46 right now in Flagstaff, 59 for Winslow, and 55 for Show Low. Sedona 68 and 83 for Lake Havasu. Right now we have 90 degrees. Yeah, that's the old heat island holding in the heat, and the dew point's 54. So we're not really dry yet. We're still a little bit muggy outside. High temperatures for today, we're going to reach 106 degrees for Phoenix, 95 for Globe, 87 for Sedona, and Prescott, 85 degrees. Kingman getting to 94, 105 for Bullhead City, and Page, 88 degrees. Here's the 7-day forecast. 106 for Monday, Tuesday 105, so a little bit warmer than normal for the first part of the week. But guess what? We start coming down on our own with sunny skies.
Look at us.
So no big storms coming in, and we're going to drop to 98.
All by ourselves.
So we're starting to cool. So that's what's important. The big word's all by ourselves.
I love it.
For today.
Love it.
And the sun matching Emma's dress.
Very good.
Perfect.
Let's see what's making sports headlines this Monday morning. D-backs and the Rockies wrapping up their weekend series yesterday. Paul Goldschmidt, National League RBI leader, doing what he does best, driving home Adam Eaton with an RBI single in the first. Then to the third, Goldie at it again. The long ball straightaway center. 2-run home run, his 32nd of the year, 3-0 D-backs. Oh, but he's not done yet. No, far from it. In the fourth, he doubles home a pair. Goldie with his 5th RBI on the day. Now he has 114 ribbies. D-backs go on to win 8-2.
Now over to the NFL. Take a look at this hard hit. San Francisco rookie safety Eric Reed went down after this collision with Seattle receiver Sidney Rice. Reed stayed on the ground for several minutes after being taken in for evaluation, and then Rice spins the ball. That was not.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't know.
Oh, he didn't know. Come on.
No, he just thought it was
in trouble for that.
No.
They would, or he would not return to the game. This was a bad one.
That wasn't the only one, by the way, this weekend.
You should not spin like that.
Here's a couple of more hard hits. The Buccaneers were called for 3 personal fouls for hits to the head. First was Adrian Claiborne for a shot to the head of Drew Brees. Second was Deshaun Golston, who was hit Darren Sproles in the head. And the third was for Ahmad Black, a late shot to the head of Jimmy Graham. Fines and even maybe suspensions could possibly emerge this week. Just last week, Deshaun Golston was fined $30,000 for the hit against the Jets.
Well, the Green Bay Packers home game against the Washington Redskins caused for some serious controversy on and off the field. Dozens of protesters from various Native American tribes protested the Washington Redskins team logo and their name. They say it's hurtful and demeaning term and are demanding that the NFL take action to eliminate the use of race-based mascots. Earlier in the year, the group was granted permission to demonstrate at the stadium.
This is picking up some steam, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Problem is, the owner says
no way.
Yeah, Daniel Snyder says, no, ain't going to happen.
We'll see.
All right. It's 4:50.
Right,
I was going to go on, but I got
right into it.
After the break on 12 News Today, a record-breaking fight broke out at a church event, of all places, right here in the Valley. Find out why and who started and who finished it coming up next.
We have no problems on your road right now. The 101 near Bethany home. Perfect conditions. We'll be right back. You are watching 12 News Today, connecting Arizona.
Heads up! Thousands of pies flew late yesterday at a Cornerstone church in Chandler. They broke the world record for the largest shaving cream pie fight. More than 900 people took part in the event, blowing the previous record by more than 100 people. Woo. Cornerstone wasn't just setting a new record, though. This was a fundraiser for Harvest India, a charity that delivers food to remote villages in India, which is a great thing. Quick hose me down, and away you go.
So they deliver food and help people out, but let's throw pies at each other.
Well, it's shaving cream. They're not using food.
Shaving cream.
Yeah, shaving
okay,
cream.
good.
No, they're not using actual food here.
Okay with that.
Oh, yeah, no.
Phew.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a lot of fun, though. All right, speaking of sweet treats, or shaving cream, how about some free donuts? Ooh. Yeah, I'll take that. This Thursday, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. So naturally, Krispy Kreme, is that good? Decided they're
it's not.
to give away free donuts. Fine, Krispy Kreme are. If you give them your best pirate impression. Now, not only do you need to sound like a pirate, you need to dress the part as well. If you follow all these steps, you could walk out with a free dozen donuts. Isn't that right?
I love that.
I know. So that's a deal to shiver anyone's timbers.
You know what my favorite kind of donut is?
What?
A cruller.
What's a pirate's? Well, no, I can't remember.
What's a pirate's
Pirate's
what?
favorite movie? What is it? Well, what was the pirate movie?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
You know it.
Kid go see the movie.
Why?
It was rated R.
That's what it was. I knew that was your
Awesome. Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome. All right, Faye, I hope you can save us. What are some of your favorite pirate jokes?
I was going to say the poor people that work at Krispy Kreme, by the end of the day, they're going to be like, stop.
Enough.
We'll give it to you. Just don't do anymore. No more, right?
Please stop.
All right. 4:55 right now. Coming up on 12 News today. Once again, the people of Arizona await a major verdict today. Jury deliberations continue in the Richard Crisman trial, with hope that a decision could possibly emerge. And the U.S. and Russia agreed on a plan to control Syria's chemical weapons, but critics warn even if it's successful, it may not solve the real issue here, the civil war that rages on in that nation. Today, we're going to learn more about the apparent chemical attacks in that region when the United Nations presents their report. Plus, over 1,000 people are still unaccounted for in flood-ravaged Colorado. However, officials have hope that today could be the day they reach and rescue the stranded. Those efforts have been thwarted by the continuing rain in that part of the country. And parts of Japan are experiencing a similar scene. Major flooding and mandatory evacuations. This morning, hundreds of flights in and out are canceled, and almost 1 million homes are without power. We're going to show you more of these dramatic pictures as 12 News today continues. But first, let's give you a live look from the roof of our downtown studios on a Monday morning. Dark and early is what we like to call it around here. 4:56 is the time. We will be right back.
Hi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Street sweepers right now are working on cleaning this.
connecting Arizona. 12 News Today starts now.
Lots of cleanup ahead this morning as parts of eastern Arizona feel the wrath of Mother Nature over the weekend.
Yeah, and the rain refuses to leave as families try to contact the more than 1,000 people that haven't been heard from in flood-ravaged Colorado. The latest just ahead.
And happy Monday morning for Cards players, coaches, and fans following the come-from-behind win in Glendale on Sunday. Front page picture in the Arizona Republic at this morning. Nice shot of Mike Bidwell and Coach Arians hugging it out there.
Not often the coach gets a Gatorade bath after the second game of the season, but this being his big first win, and it's great for the whole organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, congratulations to ASU. They cracked the AP top 25, number 23 this morning with that kind of crazy finish to the Wisconsin game. You taking a knee there?
No, just putting the ball down.
Yeah. That was the craziest thing, wasn't it?
They were still talking about it on Twitter last night.
I feel bad for the quarterback. I mean, that's kind of one of those. He intended to do one thing. It was clearly that he intended to do. The refs booked it out of there right away after that game. Did you notice that?
They did.
Yes, they did.
See you later, Bucky.
Jimmy.
That's all you had to do.
There you go.
That's all you had to do.
Take a knee.
Spike it, and you learn, you know?
Yep.
Anyways, folks, our forecast taking a bit of a knee as far as a break from rain for our region. Eastern Arizona obviously having some pretty substantial problems over there. 84, though, here at home. So just warmer than warm temperatures for this time of year. 75, though, for Wickenburg. Later on in the week, though, we're going to probably switch more to 60s and 70s for early morning temperatures, which will be quite comfortable. Now, here's what we can expect for today, though. Plenty of sunshine, 106 degrees, partly cloudy, and it is going to be on the warm side, Emma.
Okay, Jimmy Q, let's talk about how your roads are shaping up. We're just going to go straight over to our maps because we have a bad rollover crash. This one is happening at Grand, so US 60, Grand and Northern, and it's going to be closed right now from Grand and Northern all the way to Olive and 66.